Time for the Insider Trading After Show now. We bring back our TSN Hockey analyst, Dave Poulin. Dave, thanks for joining us. We just heard the insiders say there are positive vibes surrounding the contract negotiations between the Toronto Maple Leafs and Willie Nylander. The Nylander camp keeping the lines of communication open as the season gets underway. But Dave, my question is, looking at the comparables, and I'm going to show you the comparables because I think this is very important. Mark Scheifele in Winnipeg and Willie's teammate Austin Matthews, and the numbers they put up last season along with the contracts they just signed. From the Leafs' perspective, Dave, they might point to that Scheifele contract and say, that seems like a reasonable comparable. For Nylander's agent Louis Gross's perspective, he might point to Nylander's numbers last year and Austin's numbers last year and say, we need to be a lot closer to that number Austin just signed for. So Dave, my question to you, as a former front office executive with the Leafs, where do you think this Nylander contract extension lands?
Well, Jay, I had really good vibes when I was walking into a calculus exam, and I sort of understood that it was going to be math, but it's really complicated math, and it makes total sense that there's good vibes because the team really likes the player, and the player really likes the team. And the player likes the city, he likes everything about it. And whether all those things can contribute to an actual deal getting done will be very interesting to watch. The problem sort of goes back where for 4 years, Willie Nylander has put up good numbers and been very good in the playoffs. The team hasn't had success in the playoffs, and that's sort of muddied it a little bit, but not because of Nylander. The problem is they had 4 forwards earning top dollar in the NHL. He has made $4 million less than Marner and $5 million less than Matthews, more than that.
Yeah.
And so you have to look at it and say, Matthews got a raise. Is Marner going to get a raise? And where does Nylander fit in? Because he should be right up with Marner, you know, and not quite at Matthews' money, but by all accounts, Scheifele, on his 42-goal season, took a discount to stay in Winnipeg.
Yep.
And he's happy with it. The team is happy with it. Is Nylander willing to be the guy again that takes a discount? And that was a big discount. $4 million less than Marner for the last 4 years. And so he wants to make equivalent money. Everybody wants this to happen, Jay. The question is, if you haven't been successful with this formula, and I understand you will lose the money that Tavares has, the $11 million, you're going to lose that. But if you're giving a portion of that to Matthews, a portion to Marner, and a portion to Nylander, and you absorb that whole $10 million, you're right back where you started without enough complementary pieces around these players. And so it's very complicated, and you know they've got Brandon Pridham, who's the best, working on it. It's just a matter of whether it can be a fit the way it is. And I do think Willie Nylander wants to stay in Toronto, and I know the team wants to keep him. But whether that number fits at the forward position will remain to be seen. And
our insiders reported last year, Dave, that Nylander was willing to think about taking a discount, but he didn't want to be the only one taking a discount. Well, this past summer, Austin Matthews did not take anything remotely close to a discount. So it's going to be pretty tough for the Leafs to argue for that one. We could talk about this for a long time. We got to go, Dave. This is fantastic. This has been another informative edition of the Insider Trading After.